Hi, and welcome to the More Workspace Details for Sources training video for MappenMaven. In this video, we're going to focus on additional aspects of sources, including a couple more of their properties and deleting them. Using the project from the Getting Started by Importing Project Data video, let's start with source properties not yet discussed. It is important to note that when you want to get to a source's properties, you must click on the source header and not just anywhere inside the source. Clicking inside the source will actually get you to the properties of what's called the table. Since MappenMaven's focus for now is on the source and not the table, you'll want to be sure you're utilizing the source's properties by clicking on its header to get to them. Clicking on the header, here are two properties we'll talk about. The original and display names are those used when importing the source individually or from an Excel spreadsheet for an entire project. As you can see, you are allowed to change display name but not original name. When changing display name, you are not allowed to reuse an existing source name from either property. For example, if I try to change the name of the source orders DW to the name of the existing source orders, I get the error message, a source with the name you entered already exists, and the name goes back to its value before I made the change. Further, when importing a source, if I try to use the name of an existing source, let's go with orders again, I get the same error, but my source is not imported. Keep in mind, this is not for the file name itself, but for the source name. The next property I'd like to point out is the responsible party property. This is used to identify the go-to person for any questions about this source. Be sure to check out the Finalized and Ignore Properties and Progress Stats video to find out more about additional key properties for sources. The ones not covered in videos are self-explanatory and/or are typical properties you would expect for a source in a tool like MappenMaven. Next up is deleting a source. You can delete any source as long as all of its fields are free from map lines and ETL rules. However, it is critical to know that when you delete a source, it is completely removed from MappenMaven. There is no undo. In order to get that source back into MappenMaven, you would need to import it and start from scratch for that source. We'll use the shipment source to illustrate the delete. So let's show it. Unlike the need to get to a source's properties by clicking the header directly, you can delete a source by right-clicking anywhere inside it, and then you would select Delete Source. If you try to delete a source with a map line or ETL rule, you'll receive a message accordingly. If you still want to delete the source, you would just manually remove the map lines and ETL rules, and then you can delete it. You will receive one of two confirmation messages when you delete your source. Here's the confirmation message when the source being deleted is in the browser, and here's the one for when the source being deleted has been saved to the database. Of course, part of the point in differentiating the messages is to alert you that you may have already intentionally saved something to the database and maybe you selected the wrong source to delete. Either way, confirm accordingly, keeping in mind that deleting a source is permanent. If you haven't already, be sure to add and delete some sources and to experiment with the source properties. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Have a great day and happy mapping!